Man, this unit is insane. All right, so we got HAE-IN for the launch of Global, and in this video, we're just gonna be giving you. I'm gonna be giving you a general showcase of her, right? So in the next video, I actually have all 5 dupes of HAE-IN already. You could check out the summoning video to see how that went, but oh yeah. And I will basically be comparing all the dupes and seeing like the big jumps, I guess, right? I kind of want to do this now that I have all 5 dupes at my disposal, right? Why not do that? But for this video, we're going to be going into what she excels at. First, we're going to explain her. And then, I mean, overall, I think she's really worth it, right? Really, really worth it. Now, as for the skin, how do we get this skin? Beautiful skin, beautiful art for the skin, right? Amazing 2D art. And basically, it's just a shop in, it's a pack in the shop. So I think it's in special. Costumes, yes, here it is. And I mean, it's pretty expensive, but also gives 2 weapon designs and a multi, plus the frame, which I should probably put that on right now, because hold up, that frame is beautiful, right? Absolutely beautiful. We are putting HAE-IN and then the frame. Hell yeah. Because, oh my, oh my, oh my. So, let's go over what she does. And honestly, one big thing as to why she's going to remain, well, she becomes better than she would have been, is because of the fact they added up to tier 10 of the encore missions now. So because of that, there's actually there's obviously harder difficulty, okay? So HAE-IN's going to be much more needed longer, okay? She is a light unit and a fighter, okay? She's a very good DPS, and she works very much AoE, single target, whatever. So she has a lot of different skills. We're going to break it all down now, and then we're going to go into the showcase. At least we're going to fight Arachnid in this video, then go more in depth, obviously, with the dupe showcase part of it. So, normal damage puts them into airborne, nothing too crazy. We could go into this to see what it is. I think, honestly, the range here is not anything crazy. The range on the normal skills, honestly, is like when you're using it, does not seem too bad. Okay, let me get into a better position and let's go into this. All right, so the Dancer. This skill, when you hit the first attack, it's going to allow you to get Waltz of the Sword. And what this means is for 3 seconds, you're able to spam click this skill. You could use it infinite amount of times, this skill, in those 3 seconds. So usually I get 8 to 9 skills of this in, and the MP consumption is 56. So you're using about like 5 to 600 in consideration that you might get more than 8 or 9. But you have to land the first hit, okay? Oh wait, and it has to also be critical, right? So it's going to be kind of important to get that. It won't always happen, but a lot of the times, I mean, what's her crit rate right now? It's very low, but she does buff it herself, right? I need to get more crit rate on her. I'm going to put the crit rate build, okay? It's just I don't have that set up yet, but we will try that out. But for right now, I think it's good just to show basic showcase, right? So you get that Waltz of Sword once you get a crit hit, and you can use Dancer as many amount of times as you want and are able to in 3 seconds. Now, this is how it looks. Okay, you do that over and over and over and over and over and over. Now, when the skill is used, it also applies the Dancer, which increases your attack by 8% and your crit damage by 8% up to 3 stacks, which means in total, let me get out of this little section. I should not go back. I keep on accidentally going back, and with the loading times, with everything, it just fucks up. So the big thing is that you're getting 24% crit damage and attack, and then you can use the skill as many times as you want, giving you a bunch of mana, and it's a really good skill. Okay, it's only 450%, but then you do that 8-9 times, and then it becomes almost 4,000 or 5,000. So, very good. Now, this Sword of Light has amazing range. Amazing range. Okay, you're going to be using this a lot to grind, and especially if you just started your account, it's going to be very good. Light damage knocks him down, so you're going to be able to get that QTE skill in, and then it's going to be branding, which, okay, damage to target inflicted with the brand effect increases by 15%, which we're going to see later on with the brand. Okay, now it also applies unrecoverable, and this is really good. Okay, it's basically making it they can't heal for 30 seconds. Now, where does this come into play? As I mentioned before, Arachnid was like getting buffed, but also HAE-IN is going to be perfect against it, and we're going to see that later because the Arachnid is basically healing himself. That's his main gimmick. And you stop him from healing, which is cracked. Okay. So now we get into the support skill, which is when she swaps in. This is going to be applying the unrecoverable and putting brand, which is exactly what it was here. So you do more damage when they're branded. And this puts 12% crit rate and crit. They take 12% more crit rate and crit damage. So basically, the enemy you're attacking that has a brand, you have a higher chance to crit them. And this is going to come into play with this when she wants to apply the waltz to just spam the dancer. A lot of the times you do end up getting that crit. So just keep that in mind. So amazing support. And then the QTE skill is really good too, because you could use this with airborne. Okay, here it says extreme evasion core attack ultimate skill. Okay. And it's going to put airborne and then apply the brand. So you're going to be able to use this in a lot of instances. And then when you use it, it's going to apply the brand, let you do more damage, increase your crit rate, crit damage. Going to be really good. Now the ultimate, okay, is going to be doing decent damage. Okay, there is higher, I think. I mean, choice damage is actually lower. An attack unit, okay, his doesn't really count in a way, I guess, but it's there. Attack use is way higher because it's like 10k in total, so it doesn't really count. But she does have other ways to kind of make up for it. So when she's attacking someone who's branded with the branded debuff, 30% more damage. And this does quite a lot of damage. I found it does a lot, especially with all her other buffs, right? She's got the damage increase, crit rate increase, crit damage increase, attack increase, other crit rate increase, and it all stacks. Add extra 30% here, making it very good. Now, when the dancer hits, when this dash hits, it's going to be doing, or it's going to have a 66% chance to brand the target each time. So even if you can't do it with these two, if you can't do it with this or with this to brand, you're actually going to be able to maybe brand with the dancer. I honestly find it's not really that good of a passive because you're already branding in two places. That makes it quite easy. So I might have rathered something else because you can only apply one brand. But I think we're going to verify in game, but you can only apply one. So it's like kind of whatever, I guess. Now, real quick, if we talk about dupes that are important, it's 1, 3, and 5, which seems to be the case for a lot. So 1 is going to give you an extra 16% attack and crit rate because remember, every time you have a dancer, it's a dancer stack, it applies 8% attack and crit damage. Now, it's every time you use this effect that applies the dancer, but remember, you could spam this a bunch of times. So now it becomes from 24% attack and crit damage to 40% attack and crit damage. A 16% jump is pretty good. Now, the dupe 2 is also nice. 16% crit rate works. Now, the dupe 3 increases your skill damage of Dancer and Sword of Light by 50% when they're branded, which is a lot of the time. So this is insane. Makes her way more better, especially because of how much damage the Dancer does overall. And then the dupe 5 increases the damage of the ultimate by 20% for each stack of the Dancer. Up to 5 times because you get 5 stacks of dupe 1. So you're going to get a 100% damage increase on the dupe 5. But the main one, I feel like dupe 1 and 3 are like the big ones. I feel like dupe 1 is good more for later accounts. Reason being, okay, the dancer is going to make it that it's going to be increasing your crit damage, right? But if you can't crit because you're early on and you just don't have any crit build, then it's just not going to be as worth it. But it's still going to be pretty good because obviously half of the buff from this dupe 1 is getting the 16% crit damage. And if you can't crit, what's the point, right? So that's the main thing. But she does have crit rate here, increasing their crit rate, increasing her crit rate. So there is that. Now her weapon you can get for free in 2 places. Okay, the 2 places are going to be the special dice where you have to do a bunch of stuff. And when you do summons, obviously you get a bunch of these little tickets. And let's just say I've been doing summons. I'm probably going to let this just auto and get a bunch of stuff. So at the 5th round, you actually get the weapon. And then you can also craft it by getting 100 of these in the, where is it? If you go to craft, you can see in the first tab, the second tab, I guess they changed it. You're able to actually craft HAE-IN's weapon. Now, as for what it does, you do want to run this weapon, just keep in mind. It's going to increase her basic skill damage by 8%. Basic skill obviously being these 2, right? And then it's going to be when the user uses a basic skill, increases crit damage by 3% for 12 seconds, up to 6 times, which obviously you could spam the dancer. So that's an extra 18% crit damage. Really good weapon, okay? Especially if you're able to dupe it out because you could get it from 2 places, which I forgot to mention the second place. Let me go back. Being this rate up event, if you do a bunch of summons, get her, and then do a bunch of other missions, you can actually get HAE-IN's weapon for free. Now, it's mainly just getting HAE-IN, then duping her out. This is as many times as possible, and then leveling her up, leveling up other hunters, advancing other hunters. So I think you should be able to get to 1500 by the end of this, so you're going to be able to actually dupe it out, which isn't bad. This weapon is actually very good. I feel like in comparison to others, there's pretty good value. So yeah, definitely a very good unit. Let's go into showcasing her. Let me just fix her build a little bit. So it's an overall mediocre build, but I decided to switch it up. And also main thing is that before, I just swapped on Choi's gear real quick just to test her out a bit. But I put light damage now. So when she has less than 50% HP, she does increase damage, which usually won't happen too much. But for right now, it's the best I could give her with the light gear. And then every time, because I also don't have any fire, like I don't have this set for here in like light, no light, right? No light, so I can't use it for there. But this one's gonna be good where whenever she lands a crit hit, she increases her attack. So, you know, I think that one's gonna be pretty good. You could get 4 stacks max basically. Now on this side, increased crit rate and increased crit damage, gonna be pretty good. I need more crit rate, right? So this is going to be a nice way to actually get it. Overall, stats are mediocre, right? I need more crit rate. Crit damage is good enough, I guess. But besides that, yeah, these are the stats. So, you know, just look at it. And that's basically going to be it. Let's just hop into the Arachnid. So before actually like going fully in, we're going to slowly just use all the skills and then we're going to retry and then start from zero and just speed run it, okay? So that's going to be kind of how we go about it. You know, Beru, could you go any quicker? Let me just pause it. That took a while. So here we are. Now we're going to be able to see like when we get the crit hit, if it does land, right? Then we'll be able to spam the Q. So hopefully it's not the... Okay. So usually this one's a bit laggy, but you see we did not get the crit. Okay, this one, first time I do it, always laggy. So we didn't get the crit, which then means we don't get the ability to spam it, which is the unfortunate part. Now her other skill is very strong. You can see this debuff right there, the red one, is going to be the unrecoverable one. Now at this point, I'm going to bring in with Beck. Since he is my breaking unit on this team, he's going to be very good at breaking. So, you know, there we go. Already half the bar gone with just 2 hits. Let's just go at this slowly. So now I just want to use Cha's ult and we're going to try and like... Actually, no. You know what? We're good. I think so far we're not looking too bad. It would have been nice if we crit, but it's fine. So Byung-gu is going to be good to also increase Cha's crit rate, which is another amazing thing. So now this is her support skill. Looks honestly really good. Now, do we get the crit? We do. So now we get to spam it. Look at all of that, right? Really good. And then we obviously have our ult. We have all the stacks we need of pretty much everything we could get. So should be pretty good damage. Yep, there we go. Oh, we have the lethargy. Okay, we're switching. Yep, no. We cannot stay in when there's lethargy on us, man. Oh my god, no! And now, the thing is, usually, you would see the spider heal. So we're going to do another run where we see, like, well, actually, it doesn't matter. We could just see right now. No healing. And when you actually get to this point in the game, if you are a global player, you will see how beneficial this is, especially for the higher stages. In terms of grinding and all that, it just became way easier. I might just make a video, like, spider boss, well, fighting the spider boss with and without HAE-IN. And you're going to see just how much better it is with Cha. Because I'm telling you, bro, this shit gets rough if I'm using Choi sometimes. It's like, it's fine, right? Like, using Choi in it is not always a problem. But it can become a problem. It can definitely become a problem. So, you know, there's that. Now we go back in. And we get to just spam. Okay, now we're looking good. Okay, we're looking good. Pretty good damage. Like, we'll take it. And then, bop. Now we have the unrecoverable. He cannot heal still. So even if he goes up to heal, which happens at certain, like, HP thresholds, he can't. He just can't. So, you know, we're kind of, we're looking good. We're looking very good. Now we're not looking good. This lethargy buff, honestly, is really sad. It's just annoying. It's really annoying. So very soon, I think tomorrow, obviously when I max duper, well, this boss is going to become literally child's play. Like, it's just going to become fodder. By the way, you always want to use the dancer first. I used the E first, but you want to use... Wow, they really zoomed in there. You want to use the Q skill first. You do not want to use the E skill first. The Q skill is going to give you the... Well, it's going to put the debuffs on the enemy, which is what you want. Or no, it gives it to you. Sorry, it's a buff. It's a buff. You can actually see when I attack with my Q, I actually get the buff up to 3 times. So, you know, bunch of stuff. Then we E. We could use the shadows, alt. I wonder if we'll kill with this. I guess we'll see. We do not. But we're going to be close. Very close. Oop. Not good. But we win. So, all's well ends well. Q, you want to kill? I guess not. Alright. They are really... Bro, okay, this spider was kind of annoying me at the end. So, yeah, no. Cha, very good. Okay. We took our time with that. But I still think it went very well. Okay, very, very well. Cha is actually insanely good. We got kind of unlucky with that. We did. So, It is fine. Very initial showcase, right? Very, very, very initial showcase. So overall, I do think she is worth the investment. Okay. Very good light unit, and especially if you go for like units like Byung-gu, going to be very good, especially once Byung-gu's a dupe 1, because the dupe 1 increases crit rate and crit hit damage for light members by 12%. Everyone else gets 8%, but for light members, they get 12% crit rate and crit damage, which is greatly going to help HAE-IN, which the minute I saw Byung-gu's kit, I'm like, yeah, HAE-IN's going to be light. She's going to be majorly buffed by Byung-gu, and it's going to be game over. So, you know, big stuff, big stuff. These three all work very well together. He breaks, he supports, give the crit, even the crit damage on the ult. And also the crit rate here. So 12% crit rate. 12% crit rate. She gives herself 12%. Like, her crit rate is so high because of all the extra buffs, not even just from her stats, which makes it very, very good. So I hope you guys enjoyed this mini showcase, right? We're going to do a more proper one later. And then obviously a max dupe one at the end. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.